Hey friends, it's Sin. I'm back to do another review. This is for Married at First Sight, Season 11, Episode 3, It's Not the First Time. We're going to start off with Amelia and Bennett. So we do know that Amelia and Bennett were about to get married when the episode ended last time. And Amelia was sitting there with her mouth wide open like, and I was like, girl, close your mouth, please. So we get to this episode. She's walking down the aisle. They get there, and they both know they've met each other before. And I thought it was going to be more awkward than it was, but it really wasn't. Amelia still needs to close her mouth though, because she was just sitting there like the whole time. I'm like, girl, close your mouth. Like, we don't need to have your mouth open the whole ceremony. Like, it was a mess, but it actually goes well. Bennett thinks that Amelia is really cool and cute, and they're not even awkward. Like, I feel like this went way better than I thought it was gonna go, and I think the experts actually did a good job when they picked them. As soon as I saw them up at the aisle and how happy they were that they were getting married, I was like, you know what? I think I'm wrong. I think they're actually gonna last. So I originally thought that somehow this wasn't gonna work, but they look really cute together, and I actually think that it's gonna work out for them. So after they get married, they do that whole champagne sippy section for them, and they're talking about the first time they met because they have a mutual friend. And Bennett talks to the camera and he's like, yeah, I remember when I first met her, I was in a relationship, but I thought she was really, he's like, cool. I don't doubt that Bennett is not attracted to Amelia and he doesn't really like her. Cool, I feel like the way he made that face, he really was like weird, but not bad because he likes how weird she is. So I just thought that was kind of funny because he had to pause to think of a good word to say for her, but he just likes how strange she is. He liked her bird on her hair and everything weird about the wedding. He's just like, yeah, she's a really fun spirit. So that was good. What was like kind of strange, because Bennett likes to speak to inanimate objects and living objects or organisms. So his mother does a speech at the wedding and she's just going on and on. I can't believe she wrote the speech because it was so long-winded. You would think she would write something a little shorter, but she's like, and I hope that you love inanimate objects just like him and you speak to them before you throw them out. And I was like, oh, this is interesting. No, it's cute though, honestly, and Amelia was all fine with it. She was just laughing, so I think that's gonna be fine. But his mother is just hilarious to me. Like I said before, she's so dramatic and she really speaks like she's in a play all the time, so that was funny to me. Besides that, they have a good time at the wedding. They're dancing. They're really getting along really well, so it's going really well for them, and they're cute. And at the end, we just see them get to a hotel, for right after the wedding, and Bennett's just like, yep, I'm really excited. I'm really attracted to her, and that doesn't happen often for me. So he sees this going really well, and his big perfect night would be them kissing and talking all night. So that would be really sweet and cute. That does happen for them. So as of now, they are looking good as a couple, and I have to take back how I said they wouldn't work, because their initial chemistry and just the way they're meshing together just seems like it's going to work out well. Then it is Christina and Henry, or is it Christine? I forget if her name is Christina or Christina. So I can't remember if her name is Christina or Christine. I'm gonna go with Chris for this video just because I don't want to be calling the girl the wrong names. I'm just gonna cut it down. So it's Chris and Henry, and they're both really nervous for the wedding to start. And Henry is, with his family, and his father is just embarrassing him. If that was my father, I'd be like, God, you gotta go. His father is just like, oh my gosh, he's just not a man like how I'm a man. We're so different from each other. He's a pretty new man, and he likes to be all starched. And Henry's clearly just looking like, oh boy, why is my father here? So we see his father's a strange one, but both of his parents are there for the wedding. Listen, I don't like to talk about nobody's parents, but Henry's mother's like piece that she had on the back of her hair, her little hair piece, that didn't match. Why they let that lady come to the wedding like that? Her hair is gray. The piece that was on the back of her head was blonde. Listen, do better for your mother, because that wasn't working out. No. And I noticed it. I saw her several times, so I had to comment on it. Then we see Christina, and she's with her bridesmaids, and listen. Those bridesmaid dresses were hideous. I mean, atrocious. Like, who picks out that stuff for their friends? Like, the more this episode is going on, and I'm seeing like Henry and Christina, the more I'm seeing that Christina has I don't think I really like her personality. Tell me if anybody else is getting that vibe, but she seems really self-centered, and like she wants all, like it is her wedding day, but like she wants all the attention to be on her in a way where everyone else kind of looks bad. And I feel like she picked those bridesmaid dresses because they were ugly and she wanted to shine, you know, but like, why can't your friends look good too at your wedding? They look crazy. Those dresses look like bad drapes or like a tapestry. It just was hideous. Like, that's the ugliest dresses I've ever seen. They were terrible. So I just felt like she was setting her friends up for failure with them dresses, and she knew it. She didn't care. She just wanted them to be out there looking crazy. So she just comes off, I don't know, I don't like it. I don't like her personality. And maybe it's because she was really nervous and she wasn't coming off great, but I wasn't feeling her at all. So it's just like she says stuff and she wants people to jump and run and do it, and they do. You know, it's like everyone in her world are minions. It's just so strange to me watching. So she'll just say something like, yeah, I need my dress button, I need my necklace put on and everything, and it is her wedding. Of course her friends are gonna help her, but the way they run so quickly, it's like they're her servants. Like, I don't these are the vibes I'm getting. I was like, oh, okay. They just looking like, oh, do you want me to pat your head too? You know, they just seem like they just ready to do it all for her. So I don't know, it's a little intense. And that wouldn't be my friend, is what I'm gonna say, because she just coming off rude and annoying. Like, I just wouldn't be able to be her friend. I wouldn't be able to do it. So yeah, they help her out with her dress. Then there's a point where she's waiting to get married, and the producers are like, okay, we need you to do one more diary interview. And Christina's like, all right, I'll do it, but I'm not moving from this spot, so y'all better go. Talking to her bridesmaids, and they just shuffle off really quickly, because, you know, they have servants and they have minions and they do whatever she say. So they just run away really fast, and she does a quick little interview and it's like, yep, I'm so happy to be my wedding. And then it's done. So she's just like, I want this over with. So part of it is nerves, but honestly, the other part is just a bad personality, I think. Like, that's just how I see it. So they do eventually get down the aisle, and they're, you know, waiting to get married. And it is super awkward. Like, they are the most awkward couple. They can't look at each other. Christina's looking away, but kind of trying to look at Henry. Henry's looking down, like he doesn't really want to look at her. And his first comment is, whoa, she's tall. Don't know if that's good. He probably didn't want to date somebody tall, because that's the first thing he said. But yeah, it's hella awkward. It's really strange. They do say their vows. Henry's vows are really weird. Like, they're rhyming. I hate when people rhyme in their vows and in poems. Like, let's just give that up. Yeah, just speak from the heart and not rhyme. Christina's vows actually were really nice, so those were good vows, but they're just so awkward, and they don't even know how to act around each other at all. Like, they're more awkward than just strange, even a stranger you would talk to on the street. They're even more awkward than that. I don't even know how possible that is, but the awkwardness is like intense. And Christina says, like, after they get married and they go to have their sippy section, she talks to the cameras and she's like, I really wouldn't date a guy like this, but it is good they picked him. But she doesn't even remember Henry's name. She calls him Lucas, I think. The girl can't even remember his name. She's just like, so, I don't know if it's disinterested or it's because she's so self-centered she can't remember his name. I'm not really sure, but it's a lot going on. She don't remember his name. And they do go to the reception, and even when they're there, it is super awkward. They're just really strange around each other. We find out that Christina, or Christine, Chris, as I was supposed to be calling her for the video, but I just been keep saying Christina. We find out that she got out of a 5-year relationship 9 months ago. That don't seem good to be getting married right now. But, you know, experts, y'all love just throwing people in here when they're not ready. So I'm not surprised. But she tells Henry that, and he's looking like, oh, all right. I can't really get a feel for Henry right now. I'm not sure if he's really happy with Christina because he is a very nervous person and unsure of himself. You know, he lacks confidence. So I'm not sure if he just doesn't like her or if that this is a weird situation for him. But it really does seem like maybe a combination of both. I don't think he dislikes her. I don't think he likes her as much as he thought he was gonna like his new wife. So we see Christina just being weird and self-centered as we see in this episode, and Henry's just trying to talk to her about his friends, and she's like, oh my god, I don't have my earrings. I can't believe I forgot my earrings. Blah blah blah. Her mother comes up and she's like, I forgot my earrings. And I was like, you want my earrings? She's like, yes. And she puts them on and doesn't even ask Henry what he was talking about, doesn't try to restart the conversation at all. Henry has to say like, oh, what was I saying? Yeah, because Christina don't care. All she care about the earrings she ain't have on and her hands covering her ears. Like, I don't even understand what is going on. So that's really what's going on with her. Like, she's just strange. And besides that, the biggest drama really in the episode is Christina and Henry, because Henry's friends are like a weird and terrible, or maybe it's just one friend. So Henry has basically all friends that are women. We saw that in the first episode. And he has the one friend with the dark hair, and it seems like she has a crush on Henry because she's like, oh, I'm not just gonna welcome any girl up into our space because she's married to Henry. What? Like, he has a whole new wife. Why would you not welcome her? That's just suspicious. And she's just like, I'll respect the marriage, but I won't respect the relationship. Girl, that don't even make sense. That's a contradiction. But she was also drunk, so some of what she was saying wasn't making any sense. But I don't care what people say. People are like, oh, the truth come out when people drunk. They get loose. They let all their thoughts start flying. And she basically, I think she liked Henry. And she's upset that he got married. And what got me really mad about the friend is I'm not a fan of Christina. I'm not really liking her this episode. But Henry's friend was like, oh, I just feel like it's desperate for people to be in this situation. And I won't judge Henry, but I'll judge her because what woman would do this? Girl, what? So you don't judge a man, but I'm going to judge a woman for being in the same situation. Girl, sit down, drink some water, and go to sleep. That's what she need to do, because she's doing entirely too much. And when she has to look back at this as her being drunk on TV, pretty sure she's going to be embarrassed. But yeah, her friend should have just took her away from the camera because she was making a fool of herself. Lastly with them, Henry's father does a speech at the reception. My gosh, it is super embarrassing. He's talking about Henry always goes to their house and takes a whole bunch of toiletries and how he starches all his clothes. He brings that up again, and Henry is just like, let me hide under my napkin because I don't got time for this. His father's ridiculous. I don't know if I'd even invited him if I was him. Nah, he's super embarrassing though, and I feel like he was trying to do it as a joke, but like he was really embarrassing him, and I'd have been mad, honestly. I'm like, DJ, turn the music up and get him to shut up. Somebody take his mic, thanks. But after that, they go to, the hotel, and it's super awkward. They're sitting in bed being very awkward and stiff, so it's just not looking good. Because of how awkward they are and Christina's very unappealing personality is being revealed this episode, I actually do think this is not gonna work. Like, Christina does seem like, even though it's very awkward, she's optimistic about this relationship and that she's happy to have him, because I feel like she's just kind of optimistic about anything right now. That's how it comes off. But the energy is real off, and her personality is not good. So yeah, I don't see this working out now. No, I don't. Then it's Olivia and Brett. So we already saw them get married last episode, but we're just at their reception, and we see Olivia do a few interviews with the camera, and she's like, oh, I'm so happy to have this nice guy. I'm like, girl, you don't know, run. He is not nice. You do not need to be around Brett. You is confused. It's the lights and the music and the atmosphere. He's trash. And Olivia also says that she thinks that they're match made in heaven or whatever, something like that, because they both like Taco Bell. Girl, that is not enough. Like, anybody could like Taco Bell. That is not your match. Brett isn't anyone's match. And as I've said before, the experts are trash for even allowing him to be on this TV show. And poor Olivia is going to have her heart broken. And it is going to be a toxic relationship, which I'm really not even looking forward to seeing, because it's very trashy to just set somebody up for this. We do see Olivia and Brett like discussing things. That's when they discuss that he likes Taco Bell, and Olivia is like, oh, my favorite artist is Lil Wayne, and Brett is just like, oh, really? But what cracked me up is the editing. When she said her favorite artist is Lil Wayne, they really put on this terrible music. It was like dunk 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 dunk. I'm like, are y'all serious, Lifetime? Like, somehow y'all think that goes with Lil Wayne, or were they just trying to make fun of her and put very strange music? I'm not sure, but I was like, what are y'all doing? And it was funny to me. Dunk, 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 dunk. Oh my gosh, I was like, what is happening right now? Besides that, Brett does speak with Olivia's family and friends, and he is not likable, and it's like he has very bad humor. They're asking him serious questions and he's not really answering them, and they don't seem to like him that much. In the end, I think he charms them just a little, and they start all laughing together, but I don't think they really see past his trashiness. I really don't, because he's real weird. But Brett's family does like Olivia, of course. They're like, oh, she's sweet, this type of person we would want him to be with. She's really nice, and except it's not gonna work, so it don't even matter. But that's it. They get to the hotel after the reception, and Olivia's really happy. She's like, oh, I have a crush. I'm so excited about this, and I want to be alone with my husband. He's so cute. But this reminds me so much of Mindy last season and her saying she had a crush on her husband. We all know how terrible that went. Like, this is going to be the terrible relationship of this season. Like, Olivia is Mindy. Somebody pray for her, please. But that's it with them. We'll see what happens with this relationship that is going to crumble very quickly. Then it's Miles and Karen, and we see that they're enjoying themselves. They have only a teeny bit of awkwardness, but they're really having a nice wedding. The reception is going well. They're really cute. They dance for the reception. They meet each other's families. And Karen does find out that Miles is a mama's boy. This part had me cracking up. She was talking to Miles' parents, and the father was being so blunt. And I know Miles would be really upset with some of the stuff he was saying, but the father's like, no, you know, like, he not the cleanest. And Karen like, oh, okay. And the mother like, but he not that bad, he not. And the father's like, you know, he a mama's boy, but not a bad mama's boy. He don't call his mother every day. And his mother like, yes he do. And the father like, well, he needs to stop. He needs to stop calling you every day. Like, he don't need to be doing that. So that was funny. I don't think any of that scared off Karen, because it just seemed like hilarious, like normal things. Not everybody's tidy, and he loves his mother, but I don't think he will be one of those people that's like, this woman needs to be exactly like my mother, you know, weird stuff. So I think that this still is gonna go fine. Miles meets Karen's mother, and he's being very sweet, you know, talking to her about how he wants to take care of Karen. He really is in it for the long haul. And Karen's mother is like, yeah, just let you know though, I wasn't really down with this whole Married First Sight stuff. I'm not really with it, but in the end, she does seem like she really does like Miles, and she gives him good advice just to don't pressure Karen into like opening up too fast, because she will shut down. So I think both of their meetings with the family went really well. And even though we know Karen originally, like the first episode had said, when she found out who Miles was on an accident by that text, that she wasn't really attracted to him, she does say like, yeah, and I'm attracted to him. So I'm like, good, this is going well. Me too, girl. All right, I'm not gonna say how Miles is cute every time. I probably will. But they go to the hotel, and you know, they just sit down in the bed and stuff. So we'll see how these whole hotel after the wedding nights go. But that's it with them. Looking cute, going strong. Well, for the first day, it's just a wedding, but they're still looking cute. Chemistry as well. So we'll see how that goes. Then it lastly is Wood and Amani, who are adorable together as well. And they just enjoying themselves at the wedding. And we do see, you know, the family. So Wood meets Amani's father and stepfather, and their little conversation is really cute. Wood is really excited to be able to have two men in his life because his father isn't in his life, and he's just like, this is so nice that Amani had two dads. I have no dad, but now I have two people I can rely on and I can call. And I'm like, oh, that's so cute and sweet. Like, Wood, please do good, because I'm telling y'all, he really wants to be ready for marriage. He wants to be ready so bad. I can see that he wants to. I don't think he's a bad person like Brett is, but I just don't think he's ready. He really trying. He really is. I'm gonna give him that, but I just don't think he's fully ready for it. But I'm really gonna hope it go well. And their little interaction was adorable. He like, I got two fathers. I'm like, oh yay, Wood, cute. And Amani meets Wood's friends, and they're like, listen, Wood is a little high maintenance. You know, he is extra tidy, neat. He's neat. Like, he don't play those games. He needs 3 hours to get ready. So, you know, just be ready for that, girl. And she's like, oh, all right, thanks for letting me know. 3 hours is a lot. But listen, if he want to come out looking cute, I guess that's fine. He do look very well dressed and everything. But 3 hours? An hour and a half? That's a lot. Amani's like, that's all right. If we gotta be somewhere by 8, I'll just let him know to be ready at 5. So it seems like it's still going well with them. And they're both really attracted to each other. So they get to the hotel and they're just relaxing in the bed. So yet again, we'll see what happens with this whole night after the wedding. Besides that, the last point I want to make is I know that the experts film their little interviews after the whole show. That's how they comment, and you can see they're only speaking on webcam because of the pandemic. But I'm gonna need Pastor Cal to get better speakers or a mic or be in a better room, because the echo in his little webcam interview comments is ridiculous. It is so loud. The echo's like, yeah, and the sound is just not good. Like, Lifetime, y'all couldn't kind of fix the sound a little bit? Pastor Cal, you can't get a better phone or mic or something? Dr. Pepper's interviews are all right, you know, like they don't sound strange, but I'm gonna need Pastor Cal to fix that, because the sound is just kind of ridiculous. When he starts talking, I'm like, whoa. It's like, I'm like, oh, okay, I guess that's what's happening. See his voice is bouncing off the dang walls. Let me stop, because listen, my house don't got carpet, so, you know, this be sounding a little echoey too, but I just think his sound worse than mine, and I'm not a professional. And dang, all these beeps. Phone's going off, and I'm not a professional, and I don't have the equipment that freaking Lifetime would send me. So I just think they need to do better with that, even if it's the pandemic. But that's it for my recap and review for Married at First Sight season 11 episode 3. It's not the first time. I'll see you on my next one. Bye.